This is my 2005 Volvo V70R that I picked up in the last video for just $1,500. The previous owner was gonna scrap this car because it had a broken axle, and he just didn't want to deal with the car any further. The car did leave me stranded just 3 minutes after I purchased it, but after I got it towed home to the garage and put a new axle in it, it's been running and driving decently well. Today we're going to tackle a bunch of the big issues that this car has, including a problem with the automatic transmission. It shifts pretty rough from first to second and second to third. It kind of lurches into gear. You really feel it in the back of the seat, and it's quite unpleasant to drive. Oh, it doesn't shift too smooth. I've never driven an automatic R, but something's definitely not right with the way that it's shifting. The all-wheel drive also does not work, which I found out on my very first test drive of the car. When I put the pedal down, it just lit up the front wheels. And finally, the suspension on this car is pretty shot. Oh God, the suspension is shot and needs some attention, so that'll be a bonus if we have extra time today. Now, I think this will be a really interesting video because the automatic transmission, I'm gonna try and save by completely flushing out the fluid and working a bit of magic on my Volvo laptop. And this is kind of a gamble because at 150,000 miles, flushing a transmission like this could either save it or completely kill it. And I'm not sure which way it's gonna go today. So let's get to work and see if we can save this transmission. Currently in the V70R on my way to the zone. Now normally for something like this, I'd order the nice OEM fluid off of FCP Euro, but because I need a lot and because I have no idea if this is gonna work or if this could completely just kill the transmission further, I'm just gonna get the cheap stuff, and maybe if it works, one day we'll swap in the good stuff. But we all know this thing's getting manual swapped anyway. Just as a quick measure before I start doing the automatic transmission fluid, because I was pushing this car in the canyons on the old engine oil, I think I'm gonna do a quick oil change because this thing has earned it, and then we'll get to the automatic transmission fluid. I'll make it quick. Not a drop. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Oh, I was so confident. Not a drop. Oh, what a mess. Guys, I cannot get this thing off. I might just have to reuse this. Okay, this is hilarious. I started beating at it with a pry bar, and now it's unscrewing. I was worried that this 20-minute oil change was gonna turn into a 3-day oil change because of this. But we're good. This is a good indication of the car's previous maintenance history. If you have a car like this, just keep a little stockpile so you don't have to deal with this crap. That is a thing of beauty. FCP also sells these packs of Moly filters in 10. It's super easy. You put that in there, pop, and it even comes with a nice fresh O-ring. It's the little things, you know? And that's how you properly change the oil on a Volvo. And it will save you a ton of money down the road when your engine doesn't blow up. The oil filter goes right here. This guy just goes hand tight. And then same with this guy, just hand tight. good. Then you just hose it down. Now we'll put 5.5 quarts in there. Who needs a funnel, baby? I'm gonna say that and spill a bunch of oil like I just did down below. This Castrol Transmax Import Multi-Vehicle automatic transmission fluid is what I'll be using for this transmission. It might seem random, but this is actually a fluid that meets the specifications that ASIN calls for. ASIN is the transmission manufacturer. If this works, we can always change it out later. So let me show you how this works. Over here, under this air filter, there is an ATF dipstick. You pull it out. As you can see, it's kind of funny. It says ATF Special ATF Oil. And it even says it again on the dipstick. Note, Special ATF Oil. So they do not want you to put any random stuff in there, but this meets the ASIN specs, so I'm not worried. What we're gonna do is drain this transmission from underneath, measure how much fluid we take out, and then using one of these, we're gonna refill it through that little dipstick tube there. For measuring, I'll just be using one of these, which I used previously on Allison's V70 as well. Under here on the transmission, we'll grab this massive 24mm socket, crack it loose, and drain as much as we can. I would highly recommend one of these little magnets so you don't have to stick your hand in this hot ATF. And I'm not too worried yet about making this neat because we'll be doing this a ton of times. So now looking at this fluid here, it's pretty dark, it's pretty disgusting. Now it's very simple. We'll take this guy, put it in that dipstick tube. I can't show it to you because I can't even see it myself. It's definitely more of a feel situation. Make sure you don't pick up a lot of dirt along the way. That'll just make your problems worse. Okay, we're seated. Now we'll put in the same amount of this stuff that we took out, which is 2.75 quarts. And now it becomes quite obvious why this is called the drain and fill method. We'll just be doing this over and over until we've gone through 4 gallons of this fluid, which is about 16 quarts. And the goal is that by the end, the fluid that we drain out the very last time is a whole lot cleaner than the fluid that we drain out the first time. Now what we'll do is run the car and get the fluid cycled through the transmission. Now with my foot on the brake, I'll go through reverse, neutral, and drive. Then finally you can put it in manual mode and cycle it through the different gears. It'll only let me go up to third, but we'll let the wheels spin in second. The car does not like that little red triangle. It is what it is. I don't know what the rule book is on how long this should be, but I'm gonna let it sit for just a little, and then we'll drain this back out and just repeat and repeat and repeat until all the fluid in there is nice and clean. This is the last sample of fluid that I drained out, and it's not the same red as what goes in, but it's also really not far off. It's pretty transparent. I'm happy with that. We've now put 16 quarts of fluid through this transmission. I need to put the air filter back on. Now we need to reset the transmission computer. We need to actually go in the computer using Volvo's Vita software, or I think you can use, you know, some advanced scan tool. Look at that, that's me right there in my nice blue Volvo shirt. I need one of those shirts. Over the, whatever, 150,000 miles, the computer creates, I think, like adaptations that basically compensates for the old fluid wearing down. And so we need to go in here and make sure that the transmission computer knows that it has brand new fluid and not 150,000 mile fluid. Transmission control module, and we'll go to advanced TCM, resetting the adaptation right here. You click on this little computer. This isn't the most obvious thing ever. Now we'll do both of these, erasing the adaptive data in the TCM and resetting the transmission oil counter. So we'll start with this guy here. Oh, I can hear it doing things. That's cool. All right, all done with that guy. We can close out of there. Now we'll do the last one, which is resetting counter transmission oil. Okay, operation finished. So all done. We are now officially done with the transmission flush. I cannot wait to drive this thing and see if it's any different. But first I want to take a look at the all-wheel drive system. I don't know why I didn't record it. I was just kind of shocked by it, but there was a code in here for, God, I took a picture of it, something like oil control valve faulty for the all-wheel drive system. I'm wondering what exactly that means, but what I'm going to do is just clear out the code. No way. Dude. Are you kidding me? How is that possible? All four wheels are spinning. I don't know if that means that our all-wheel drive system is fixed or not, but this is insane. Look at this. How is that possible? Clearing a code. Fix the all-wheel drive. I don't get it. There's obviously the possibility that when we drive the car, the code will come back. At least it means there's nothing mechanical wrong with the all-wheel drive system, because if it was mechanically stripped in the angle gear or the collar sleeve was shot, all four wheels wouldn't be moving. So we'll have to drive this thing to find out and see if that code comes back. I mean, the fact that all four wheels spun, now we need to see if our transmission will slip from putting in all that new fluid, if it'll shift better. I'm excited to try it out, take it for a test drive. I think I'm going to quickly change out the shocks. Wow, a lot going on. This is crazy. These shocks that you're looking at is a set of 4C suspension with lowering springs on them. So it's the same suspension that's on the car right now. This will lower the ride height of the car, which will be cool as well. There's a problem with them that I didn't foresee. The problem with these things is this one, which seems to be the oldest one out of all of them. There's some play in that bearing. I guess I'll probably order a bushing and a bearing for that shock, just because I don't want to have to do the job twice. I don't want to put the shock in just to realize that that top bearing is making noise, because that would defeat the whole purpose. So I'll order those parts, and I think this video is already getting pretty long anyway. So what we'll do is I think we'll just clean up the engine bay a little bit, and then we'll go drive this car and see if my transmission fluid killed this transmission, or if it saved it, or if it did nothing at all. And see if the all-wheel drive will hook up too, because I'm pretty curious about that. it really is the moment of truth. I'm gonna take this thing off the jack stands and see if it runs. It's a beautiful sunset here. Let's go for a little drive. Go. Take off 1 to 2. I'm gonna go nice and slow. Oh my God, it dropped right into second like butter. There's third, no problem. Let's go. That's a huge difference. Let's go for a little pull here. Put the transmission in sport. That thing in advanced, and let's see if it slips under load. That's what I'm most afraid of. Let's go. That pulled super strong. No slipping there whatsoever. And the shifts are way smoother. Back into comfort though, because these shocks are not meant to handle advanced mode. Let's go for a little illegal UE here. Volvo turning radius. Second gear. Oh my God, that is so much smoother. I want to say it's like 95% there. It's not like a factory smooth shift, but compared to the lurch that I had before, this is a huge difference. And for like $100 worth of fluid, I thought for sure I was gonna have to find a second automatic transmission, but this is so much better than what it was before. Another big victory. And I literally just thought about the fact that doing the pull, the all-wheel drive worked. It didn't spin the tires at all like before. Let's try that again. Oh yeah, that's all-wheel drive. Oh my God, that's fast, dude. That is quick, let's go. The all-wheel drive works. This thing shifts super smooth. I don't really know what to say. That was 2 huge problems that I thought could have been massive bills fixed by swapping out $100 worth of fluid and clearing a code. After working on the white V70 and just being unsuccessful time after time with that idle, it definitely feels good to fix something. Especially something major like a transmission shift and the all-wheel drive. I can't believe it. This is awesome. It is becoming very apparent though how bad the suspension is, so we'll be tackling that next video along with a whole lot more projects on this car. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.